Oh, hey, it's me again. Probably the guy that you didn't want to listen to right now because you were waiting to listen to either Lynn or Lacey, but I'm here to tell you that on this episode of the Acorn and Leaf podcast, we once again teamed up with Real Wood Matters because, well, let's face it, real wood still matters. And this time, they handed the mic over to our very own Lacey Schmidt, the VP of Operations and official boss of getting things done here at Gastineau Log Homes. She's talking legacy, not the boring, dusty kind, but maybe the kind that you build with purpose and passion. And maybe a little bit of sawdust, let's be real. It's smart, it's soulful, and yeah, it's kind of a big deal. So without further ado, welcome to the Acorn and Leaf podcast and part 2 with Real Wood Matters. Cue the music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Wood Matters, a real wood podcast where we discuss the ins and outs of the forest products industry, from forest management to home construction to furniture trends. On this episode, we welcome Lacey Schmidt, Vice President of Operations at Gastineau Log Homes, ready to share her expertise on the forest industry, legacy, and family businesses. Let's dive right in. Welcome, Lacey.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
We had the pleasure of speaking with Lacey's mom, Lynn, before, and she told us the story of Gastineau Log Homes. But please give our audience a little refresher from your side of the ledger.
Yeah. So she started the business in 1977 and has been going strong ever since. I was obviously in and around the business growing up. I couldn't avoid it, right? The bus dropped me off there after school every day. So that's where I grew up there in our offices. My first official job was stuffing packets. Back in the day, everything was in the mail. Yep. So the brochure, the folder, and the brochures that went in, and so I would sit in the conference room, and of course I would have a soda and probably some candy, and I just stuff brochures. And my recollection is I got paid half a penny per brochure. So but yeah, and I didn't. Outside of that, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the industry. I mean, I knew that my mom was pretty amazing. I knew she did some amazing things, but it was my normal. And so it wasn't until I left, our world, I went to school in Texas, that I was kind of like, oh, wait a minute, like growing up at a log home isn't normal, then, and her and I are really close. And so we talked a lot about business. When I lived in Texas, I was there for about 17 years. And so I learned a lot just talking to her, that way. But then, but when I was little, I swore I would never move back to Missouri. I would never sell log homes.
And where are you now? You're back in Missouri selling log homes.
Yep. So
it does seem magnetic, but maybe that's more because of your company than it is, who knows? But there is such a rich legacy in Gastineau Log Homes. Mm-hmm. When your mom said when there are listings to sell a house, and it's a Gastineau home, they'll definitely put that in the description because it helps sell the home.
Right. It means something.
Yeah. So I love to see that you're thriving. When you aren't working on the business, how do you like to spend your time?
Well, I have 3 little boys. That are 7, 9, and 11. So I don't have free time.
Busy household.
They're heavily involved in sports. So if I'm not working, I'm cooking, I am cleaning, or I'm running to sports activities. That's really what we do. We do have a house at the Lake of the Ozarks, and that's where we go in the summer as much as we can. That's our favorite place to go. It always has been my favorite place.
In the
It is not. We bought it. And it was really a matter of location, and we have friends that are our neighbors, so it was strictly location. But that's the only reason why.
Not yet. It's
not yet, exactly.
Eventually.
And you know what? That's that's Lynn's only stick frame home she's ever bought, I think.
Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, tell us when you do build or eventually live in a log home. What makes them special, aside from the fact that they're in your family business?
Yeah, I think there's nothing, so like I said, I came from the hospital to a log home, lived in one until I went to college. I didn't know anything different. And then when I moved out, I was like, it's different. And then in the different houses that I lived in, it just isn't as warm. And I know that word is used so much, and I wish, it's a good descriptor, because it really is like a warm hug, right? I mean, it's just
a home that is not a log home is not as warm.
Correct. Yeah. Right. It just doesn't embrace you as much. It can be cold and kind of stiff. A log home is just warm and welcoming, and it makes you feel relaxed. Right. And there really is a difference between the two. So, I think that there's nothing better than having, if you have family over, friends over, and they just feel comfortable in your home, right? I think what you build your home out of is a key part of that. And log homes just bring that.
Well, I've heard there's actually science behind that neuroaesthetics, that real wood actually does produce, it lowers your heart rate. It calms you if you are on the autism spectrum, or if you have Alzheimer's or ADHD. Wood helps you focus better. I love that Mother Nature is trying to help us.
Well, that's where
so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we are meant to be, right? We're not meant to be in a manufactured, and nothing to. I mean, I don't mean to like completely downplay sheetrock or paint, because everything has its place. But that's where we're meant to be, is to live on the earth, not surrounded by man-made products. But we're meant to live around the earth and in the earth, and that's what a log home is.
I love that. Well, Lacey and our Choose Wood team got to meet up at the International Builders Show in Las Vegas in February to see all of the trends in building, including the fact that homeowners, as she just said, want to bring nature inside more than ever. So how does that track with your experience with your log home clients?
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes hand in hand with just what I was saying. Everybody wants their home to feel welcoming, to feel warm, to feel cozy, and that's what wood products do. And even if you have a stick frame home or a traditionally built home, then you can still achieve that with wood paneling on the ceilings or the walls. You can still achieve that, and it really just helps. I mean, it just makes your home feel that much more cozy.
Yeah. Well, I kept hearing at some of the trade shows we've gone to that your brain doesn't like to be tricked by fake wood, and that when you see something fake in your floor, they kept calling it the same damn knot over and over again. So your brain doesn't want to see the same knot over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's what your log homes don't have that. Don't have the same knot.
That's exactly right. And that's also really interesting because, when where our customers, I'm on the operation side where I'm shipping out material. And so they get a raw product. And when they're putting it up, they'll say, sometimes it'll be, well, there's a check in this one, or there's this bug hole in this one. And if they had seen that, they did see that in some way, shape, or form at our model home center when they walk through that house, and that's just part of the character, So, but they're also, I feel like people, consumers as a whole, are used to a man-made product being a perfect product. It comes out the same. We QC it. Everything is the exact same damn knot over and over again, because that's how it was designed, and that's not how Mother Nature makes her trees. Right.
Absolutely.
And so, and then you've
it's
got
not
nature.
Found in nature.
Right. Exactly. And so you put these things up, and they have these little flaws in them that look like flaws, I should say, when you're building. But when you get those up, that's your favorite beam.
They're facets, not flaws, once they're put in place.
Yes. I mean, it just gives it character. But you can't get that with anything fake, because they don't put character in it, right? They design it to look a certain way, and looks like that all the time. So that's one of my favorite parts about a log home, is that there genuinely are not any two that look alike.
That's great. I had a dentist tell me once upon a time that the pursuit of perfection is the enemy of excellence. And I didn't understand that exactly. I was getting my teeth fixed for a photograph that I needed to have done. And he said, I could take 1 more millimeter of gum and you would have a perfect smile, but I'm not going to do that. And I said, why do I not get to have a perfect smile? And he said, because the pursuit of perfection is the enemy of excellence. You should shoot to have an excellent smile. Because he said, where do you think I heard that? I said, I have no idea. And he said, from a cosmetic surgeon, plastic surgeon, who said people come to him wanting perfect lips, perfect hips, perfect cheeks. And he said they end up looking plastic because perfection is not found in nature.
Right.
And I said, so he said, I will give you an excellent smile, but I refuse to give you a perfect smile.
I love that.
And I thought that is what the wood industry has going for it, is that it's excellent and doesn't care to be perfect.
Right. It's excellent because of its flaws.
Exactly.
That's exactly why it is
just
beautiful.
As we all are. It's like, we wouldn't be us if we weren't.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
love that too.
Well, and the science also says that that those flaws help people with Alzheimer's or dementia navigate their environment better because they know that their door is just beyond that knot.
Right.
Or that the paneling next to their door has a grain in it. That,
And I can identify it.
If it's fake, it's the same damn knot.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense. It does.
And we'll be right back. I know. We get it. You've been sitting there, driving your car. Maybe you're running on a jog on a beautiful morning, listening to this podcast and thinking about building your log home. So we made it easy for you. Start your journey with us here at Gastineau Log Homes. Family owned, women led, and proudly crafting oak log homes since 1977. As the largest oak log home manufacturer in America, we're here to help bring your dream, big or small, to life. You can call our office at 573-896-5122 or swing by the National Model Home Center here in Kingdom City, Missouri, or even visit us online at oakloghome.com to get started. Because your dreams never look so good. While you're listening to this podcast, did you find yourself loving or imagining the smell of sawdust or the thrill of closing a deal? Well, good, because we're hiring. From the mill to sales to design to even shipping, there's a place for you at Gastineau Log Homes. You can apply today at oakloghome.com/careers. If you've been enjoying the Acorn and Leaf podcast, do us a quick favor. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps more folks who love log home living find us and join the conversation, which is such an awesome community. And hey, if you love what we do here at Gastineau Log Homes, head over to Google and leave us a review there as well. It means the world to us and keeps the dream growing. Thanks for listening and for being part of the Gastineau family. Back to the show.
We also learned from the IBS visit, the International Builders Show, that according to Houzz, Houzz, a whopping 62% of homeowners plan to stay in their homes for more than 11 years. That strikes me as a good thing and a long thing. To me, this points to a focus on homes lasting for a long time. What do you make of that in your log home industry?
Yeah, that is our primary customer, is somebody who is looking to build their final home, or they're looking to build something that's going to last a long time. And the whole goal is to build something that's going to be there even when you're not, right? And whether that's your family that gets to enjoy it, or whether it's sold and it's the next family that gets to enjoy it. The point is that it's still going to be there, and
generations to
after
come.
Right, exactly, generation after generation. There's of course there are a lot of older, stick frame homes that are around, and there's a lot of facelifts that have to be done. There's nothing. Actually, I got a message today from somebody who bought an old, I don't even know, hundreds of years old. They bought this property. It has this old cabin on it, and it had somebody put siding over the outside of it, and they're renovating it, and it's oak, and it just has a couple spots that are being worn. And I mean, if that was stick frame, there's no way to save it. But we can, this is a very savable house, right? It's very minor, actually, what needs to be done to it, So there's nothing, it doesn't get any better than that in my book.
Good old Missouri logs, perhaps.
Perhaps. This is in Texas, believe it or not. Texas, but it is oak. Yeah, so, I mean,
the chances are possible at least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yay. Lacey, with these trends in mind, what do you think the future holds for Gastineau Log Homes?
We have a lot of things planned, actually. Yeah. Our core business has been solid log homes since 1977, and we are, and that will be our core business for forever. But we do realize that as much as my mom Lynn, as much as would prefer log homes for everybody, I understand. Sure, she understands, and I also see the directions that what we call like a timber frame or like a post and beam home. So essentially like a stick frame home that has a lot of the same log accents, right? So whether you've got like exposed beam trusses or the exposed beam floor system, some of the log siding, so you can still pull in some of those, some of that natural, the imperfections of the logs, you pull that in, but you don't have to go full log because not everybody wants full log, and I can appreciate that.
So sort of a hybrid.
Exactly.
Emerging?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So hybrid in the sense of you're pulling in all the different kinds of mediums for the house. So you can have stone. You can do like an LP siding that is like a cement board. You can do our log siding on the exterior, and the interior, same thing. Like I said, but you still get the feel and the warmth. But you don't have to be full log. So, and that's kind of that's a big push that product line that we're developing right now. And I think that's going to be, and that's, we see a lot of the trends heading that direction too. Because again, people just want nature, want to bring nature in. So it gives them the best of both worlds, I think. And then we've got our park model product line, and we're kind of expanding that too. But I think the hybrid line is a really, really, really big product.
Promising one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
How does your podcast, the Acorn and Leaf podcast, fit into that future you've just described?
Yeah, our first season was about kind of, setting the stage, if you will. We talked a lot about the history with my mom, with Lynn, my history with the company. We talked about some of the key points of key discussions that we had, a lot of things discussions that we have with our customers, the questions they ask us. We talked about that, but ultimately we want the podcast to be a resource for anyone that's looking to build one of our homes, to answer any questions that they have. Right. So whether we're talking full log, talking the hybrids, just to explain what that means, and answer all the tens of thousands of questions that you have when you're going to build a custom home, right? So we just want to be a resource and just put that information out there and share. Really, it's Lynn sharing the knowledge that she has. She's an incredible wealth. I want to get it documented of all that knowledge that she's got up in her head. So so the world gets to hear it at this, just like I do.
Need to start recording.
Right, exactly. Record all the time.
Fantastic. Well, and she's in the process of writing a book.
Yes.
That will accomplish no title yet, but
yes.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yes.
For
a
very handy reference.
It's very, she is, kind of like the godmother of log homes, right? She was there when this industry was started, and she's still around, and she is known in the industry. Everybody, where's Lynn? Where's Lynn? Where's Lynn? And everybody knows her. Everybody respects her. She's earned it, 10 times over. And so she's got a lot of information to share, and I think a lot of really valuable information. And so, I'm excited for this book too.
Very exciting. Okay. So how does Missouri Forest Products Association fit into your future?
Yeah, the MFPA has been, we have been a part of the MFPA for a really long time. I think it's such a fantastic way for it, just kind of like the Log Home Association that associations that Lynn was a part of back, still are, but that she started back then. It's a matter of industry coming together to grow. Mm-hmm. Right. And talking to other people who share in the same struggles that you do, the same successes you do. You learn so much from that. and also coming together as an industry to say, where can we go from here? Right. And so, and we do business with a lot of other members as well, because it takes a village. Right. So, it's a really valuable membership that we have, and just a fantastic resource also that, is, always going to be there for us.
Great. What does legacy mean to you, Lacey?
I thought a lot about this question, actually. And to me, I think legacy is leaving something better than you found it. And so, there's with all the history that my mom has with the company, pretty big shoes to fill. So it's a lot to walk into, and I just want to do, to earn the respect that she has. I don't want to earn it. And I want to leave it even better for hopefully my children. So, it's kind of inheriting a big legacy, but then also taking that and making it better, expand it, right. And improve it if possible. And then just continue to pass that down. I mean, just like one of our houses, right? Yeah.
Your mom told some really fun stories about people who reach back generations later when they're finally moving out of their house and into maybe assisted living or something, just to say how much they've enjoyed living. What's been the most satisfying piece of this puzzle for you? I know you're more on the operations side, but that's got to be super satisfying too, because you're in on the purchasing side.
Right.
So.
Yep. So I was in, I flipped houses and remodeled houses in Texas. And when I lived there, and my favorite part, I mean, it's a hard journey, right? And, but there are, at the end of the tunnel, it's so great. And so walking through that process with people and then getting to the other side and seeing their, like, just how excited they are about their house. It's so, I mean, it's just awesome. Also, I field those calls as well from customers that built their house 30, 40 years ago. Sometimes they'll walk to the mill, walk into the office, and talking to them. And them, I mean, how great is it to love something so much, even more than you did the first day that you bought it, right? I mean, nobody loves their car that much, like it is really, really just so cool.
That's true.
It is so cool.
Few things in your life matter as much as your home.
Right.
That's where you go to escape and to recharge and do whatever floats your
boat. And this is not, I'm not saying it's absolutely exclusive to log homes, but I know a lot of people who have lived in their home that for decades, and they're like, yeah, it's okay. So to have somebody that truly just loves their house and loves them so much that they come back to us to tell us
part of us now,
yes,
and we want to tell you how much it's meant.
We are a part of their story, which is just amazing. I mean, it's just so it's so cool, and I just look up to my mom she did it.
Imagine all the photo albums that your houses occupy. That's pretty fun.
Well, we had an office that we were in for over 40 years. And there was a lot of photo albums, a lot of things to go through. You collect a lot over 40 years, whether it's a house or an office, you collect a lot. We made, yes, there's a whole lot of photos, a whole lot of stories that we come through. We moved out of that. So yeah, lots of stories.
It sounds to me like there should be an HGTV program on the only women-owned log home builders in America. Isn't that true? You hold the title of only women-owned.
Yeah, this is true.
I think HGTV, you're a flipper. It has it all. You're fun, you're friendly.
we would probably entertain something like that. Yes, I think that would be fantastic.
I think maybe you should call a publicist. I'm just saying.
That'd be really fun.
What would you say to other women who might want to break into the forest products industry?
Do it. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. It is an industry that opens their arms to anybody, and anybody that comes in, learns the trade, learns the information, is open to learning, is always welcome. And so I think we need more women for sure. There's qualities that women bring to any industry, right, that are needed, and this is definitely a male-dominated one. So I think a little bit of women ingenuity would go a long way.
I like the way you put that, diplomatically, but but right
yes,
on.
Right.
Lacey, thank you. It's been delightful to talk to you. That's all for today's episode. Thank you to our guest, Lacey Schmidt, and thank you to our sponsor, Choose Wood. And thank you for listening. As always, choose wood.